Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors Academy, and thank you for stopping by. All right, guys, the content that we're going to talk about tonight is going to blow your mind. What if I were to tell you that the CNN Health Division just did an article, and in the conclusion, they compared gun violence as the same as heart attacks and strokes due to behavioral concerns in all of those topics? When I tell you my mind was blown to see this, because this, you talk about burying something that you didn't want to put in the front, and this isn't even an opinion piece. This is in the health division. This is an article. Everything's going to be linked in the description box below for your review, just so you know that I'm not crazy. Let me know what you guys think in the comments field below. We're going to hit a quick word from our sponsor who made these possible, and then we're going to walk through this article, how it starts at heavy gun control evidence, all the way ending up on behavioral problems. This is interesting because it proves our point, and I don't really care where it is. This is impressive for our side of the argument. All right, so I know a lot of you out there like to repair and upgrade your own guns. If you're looking for a way to take your hobby to the next level, Sonoran Desert Institute can help. The online programs at SDI cover armor courses, gunsmithing, ballistics, woodworking and finishes, shooting sports management, and more. Plus, tools and materials are shipped to your door for hands-on practice. It's never been a better time to get the education that you can actually use on the job, so what are you waiting for? Visit sdi.edu in the description box below to find out more, and thank you to SDI for making this possible. But now, guys, let's jump into this CNN article, and I'm going to show you how they're really slanting this to the left in the front of this article, but take a hard right turn towards behavioral issues and comparing gun violence to strokes and heart attacks because they're all behavioral. This is mind-blowing. Again, I want to hear from you guys on this one. Let's dive in because the 180 here is staggering. Rise in gun violence during pandemic adds strain to overburdened hospitals. This is out 7:14 this morning, so this is fresh off the press, okay? Again, CNN, not exactly a right-leaning bastion, right? So off the bat, when they start this, they start going down the road. You're going to start to hear this around gunshot violence are disproportionately taking all the hospital beds, putting strain on the system, etc., etc., etc. But it turns. Check this out. CNN. Gun violence spiked in the United States in the first year of the pandemic, adding strain to an already overwhelmed healthcare system. Okay, so you're starting to go into that element of it's this fault. Emergency rooms saw more gun violence victims. Overall emergency department visits dropped 26%, but visits for firearm injury jumped 34%. According to data shared with CNN by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. So you can see where it's going right off the bat, right? It's all about guns. It's everything's guns. It's all the guns' fault. And then you get things like this. This is the next one of the other topics. Preventable injuries drain healthcare resources. There's another one. Here's a quote. All of a sudden, you went from needing one nurse for a few patients to maybe 3 nurses to help take care of that one patient. So again, they're driving this point home hard, right? Well, we're getting really close to the end, and then listen how this turns. Then we're going to hit some points. Addressing gun violence will ease strain, but it takes time. Okay? This is where it starts. The solutions may seem obvious, but there's no immediate fix to gun violence, experts say. Well, that's weird because I've been told by the left and the gun controllers that all we need to do is get rid of the Second Amendment and start doing common sense gun control legislation. But all of a sudden, the CNN is saying there's no immediate fix to gun violence. That's interesting. What else are they turning here? Quote, we think of gun violence as being something that could be addressed relatively simply if we didn't have guns. That's very true. The left does think that way. Well, if we just didn't have the problem, we wouldn't have the problem. Which conceptually is wonderful, but obviously not so easy to achieve. Well, since there's more guns than people in this country, it's part of our fabric, it's interwoven in the founding of our country, it's a guaranteed right in the Second Amendment. Yeah, it's not so easy. That's by design, boo-boo. Anyway, let's keep going. That's what Martin said. And this is where it takes the turn. And you tell me if this is right on the money or this barely missed. But violence is as much of a social and behavioral problem as it is an access problem, he said. Whoa, I'm getting uncomfortable. Are you saying that it's not an inanimate object's fault and it could possibly be something with the people using said inanimate object? Almost like good guy with a gun versus bad guy with a gun is an extension of themselves? That can't be it. I've been told that that's not true. Let's continue. Quote, not surprisingly, those are the same core problems that exist for why people have heart attacks and strokes. So much of the healthcare needs in the world, but certainly in the developed world in the US, is much more behavioral than anything else. Well, if you're comparing heart attacks, which would be related to eating habits and exercise, strokes, which would be related to healthcare, would be having to do with like exercise and better blood flow and things of that nature. And now you're saying guns are behavioral as well, so it's almost like criminals are going to criminal, and it's behaviorally based, just like those things, just like this article said. Guys, someone writing this article was either doing a hard turn and kind of snuck it in at the end and was trying to get under the radar. The left is realizing they're screwed on their approaches and they're trying to turn a hard right. Or some truth slipped out on accident after the entire article saying how gun violence is the problem for all the healthcare needs we have. You tell me what you guys think. Everything, like I said, is in the description box below. Let me know what you think if you want to jump off on this, and I will see you tomorrow morning on the Bullet Points. I'm Braden. See you later.